Hi there, welcome back to Max School Prep TV. If you probably can't tell, but I'm actually in a conference room, so changing up scenery. But anyways, if you are somebody that struggles with taking risks, me, or just simply wants to delve a little bit deeper into the value of being a risk taker, just so that you can add a little bit more knowledge to your repertoire, then this is the right video for you. So I encourage you to stay tuned. But in the meantime, I'm Mackenzie Warren, the founder of Max School Prep. And video by video on this channel, I'm gonna be unveiling all the life, all the academic hacks that actually enabled me to make straight A's, yes, straight A's, throughout the 9th through the 12th grade at Carnegie Vanguard High School, the #1 public high school in the Houston area, so that's something I'm really proud of. But with that said, let's just go ahead and jump right into the content, am I right? Because I'm sure you are waiting on the edge of your seat to hear it. So you might be thinking, Mackenzie, what you talking about? I subscribed to your channel. I came to this video because I want to learn how to be successful in school. I want to learn how to make straight A's. So not gonna lie, I think you're off on a bit of a tangent here with this video topic. Okay, if that's what you're thinking, I'm gonna be real frank with you. I'm gonna be honest. To put your best foot forward in the classroom, you need to, a prerequisite to putting your best foot forward is making sure that you are seizing any and every opportunity that allows you to grow by pushing yourself out of your comfort zone, by doing things that you aren't accustomed to, doing things that you're not used to, right? And so when I say grow, I'm not talking about, man, I'm gonna be 6'1" by the end of the summer. I'm not talking about vertical growth. I'm talking about the good stuff, the meat, the intellectual growth, personal growth, spiritual growth. And not that growing vertically isn't good, because I wish I were taller, but that's another story. But anyways, that's the type of growth I'm referencing. Intellectual, personal, and spiritual. And so to be successful in the classroom, you need to make sure that you are taking advantage of chances that allow you to be a risk taker, which is why this video is so important. Now, I want to clear the air before we move forward and say that when I'm talking about being a risk taker, I am not saying that you need to rush into foolish decisions. I'm not saying that you should, take a risk by seeing how many times you can get away with doing something bad, or take a risk by jumping off a building and seeing, oh man, am I gonna break any bones? No, we are not talking about that stuff. We're not talking about foolish decisions. We're talking about being calculated risk takers. Let me repeat that word, calculated risk takers. And what these type of risk takers do is, even if they have to put themselves on the line, even if they have to be in a vulnerable position, which we're gonna kind of elaborate on that a little bit later, before they rush into a decision, before they make decisions, they evaluate the pros and the cons, and they say, okay, is this decision going to have more pros than cons? They only move forward with these decisions, with these risks, if they are confident that at the end of the day, there's gonna be way more upside to their decisions than downsides, okay? Now, bear with me here. Even if you have to put yourself out on the line time after time after time again before you finally see the light at the end of the tunnel, before you finally get a taste of that upside, you have to understand that a huge benefit of being a calculated risk taker is the invaluable experience that you gain no matter what. And so what I mean by that is, so what if you have to attempt something 1,000, 1,000,000 times because taking a risk in the first place has only led to failure after failure after failure? So what? Listen, I promise you this. Enduring failure before you eventually accomplish success, through persistence and resilience, of course, but enduring failure is only putting you in a position to learn from your mistakes, to understand when it's necessary to change your approach to achieve an end goal, and is going to allow you to realize that you're a heck of a lot more capable and a heck of a lot more powerful and a heck of a lot more incredible than you ever gave yourself credit for. Because you're like, man, I failed, and then I succeeded. Nothing can hold me down. No obstacle is too big for me, right? Too big for you, right? And so, look, the bottom line is taking a calculated risk is only, at the end of the day, only going to enable you to be a better person. It's only going to set you up to be a you 2.0. And who doesn't want to be a you 2.0? Who doesn't want be a better version of themselves. And trust me when I say this, a German philosopher sure did not say what doesn't kill you makes you stronger for nothing. He said it because there's truth and there's fact behind that. And I promise you when I say that taking a calculated risk is not gonna kill you. It's only gonna make you stronger. You got it. So with that out of the way, now I want to talk about why so many people shy away from taking risks at all. And whether you know it or not, the reason is actually quite simple. It's not because we don't want to do what's in our best interest, but it's rather because we're humans, not robots. We are people with emotions who would do anything to protect those emotions, to protect those feelings. And we want to prevent ourselves from entering into situations that could potentially result in loss, that could potentially result in disappointment, which is why so many of us have this mentality, so many of us, including myself, have this mentality that we only want to go forward with something if we know it's going to be something that results in success. We're 100% positive about that. In other words, what I'm trying to say is it's difficult for us to knowingly put ourselves in a situation that we don't have the bird in hand. We don't really know how it's going to unfold. And so that's why we prefer to play it safe, to just kind of settle with the status quo so as not to risk disappointment, like I said, so as not to risk failure, and so as not to risk making a mistake. And look, I'm not going to lie, I'm not going to sugarcoat it when I say that yes, taking a risk does require that you channel this inner courage to face the uncertainty. But there's good news. When you remove yourself from your comfort zone and you do this time and time again, it only becomes easier. It only becomes like second nature. And what I encourage you to do is when you're confident that there's going to be more pros and cons to a decision, don't overthink it. Don't overanalyze. Don't give yourself time to overestimate the probability of something going wrong and underestimate the probability that you can handle failure and handle curveballs. Just don't do it. Don't give yourself time for that. Don't succumb to the self-doubt that comes with overanalyzing and overthinking. Just do it like Nike says. And I promise you're going to look back on your initial decision to take that risk, not with feelings of regret, but actually feelings of complete satisfaction and complete pride that you took the risk and you did it and you actually ended up being successful. On that note, it is story time, woohoo! Okay, enough of my cringeworthy dancing, because I'm sure that definitely made you be like, what is this girl doing? But anyways, I would like to tell you a story now because I think that it would really allow you and help you wrap your head around some of this abstract information because yes, it's a lot to digest. But to tell you this story, we are going to change the scenery and we are going to head back to my car, or actually my mom's car. So let's go. Alrighty, so scenery has officially changed. If you watched my first video, you would have seen that I was actually in the driver's seat. I am not in the driver's seat today, right? At this moment, I'm actually in the passenger seat. My mom is driving. She's over there. She'll just be chilling, listening to my story like you are. So what we're going to tell the story of is the story of our boy, King Ray. All right, so King Ray was the ruler of the kingdom of Utopia, right? And man, King Ray just loved his people. He was all about the citizens. He did everything to make sure that they were happy. He would hold these gatherings, these all-you-can-eat buffets. He just wanted to make sure they were just, chipper, and they were. Until one fateful day in, let's just say, November, because, it's starting to get a little chilly outside. That'll add to the mood. This army from the land of, let's call it the land of heathens, okay? This army just all out of the blue invaded the kingdom of Utopia, completely ransacked this kingdom. And they didn't kill any people because they just wanted to make sure that the people were still there because they wanted to be the new rulers. So what they did was they were like, Ray, the not so king anymore, King Ray, they were like, bruh, you out. Ray was forced to abdicate the throne. He was forced to give it up, and they said, Ray, get out. We're the new rulers of the kingdom of Utopia. And so obviously King Ray was like, I'm not really feeling that, but what could he do? He was just this one guy, people weren't really fighters, they were lovers. So, like people that loved. They were lovers, so they couldn't really do anything. So Rey just kind of packed his bags and he went on his way. Not his merry way, he went on his sad way. And he left. And so he settled in this neighboring place called, let's just call it the Land of Unity, okay? And Rey was over there for months and months just trying to establish some credibility with these people, because what his plan was to hopefully group them and see if he could try to get his kingdom back using the help of these people at the Land of Unity. And eventually, yes, he established some trust, all this stuff, and they were like, all right, Rey, let's get it. Let's go over there and try to kick out these people from the Land of Heathens. And they got their weapons, they came, they invaded on this fateful day, and just like the army had done previously to Rey, but to no avail. King Rey and his new army, they weren't successful. The people from the Land of Heathens were just still ruthless. And they were like, Rey, you thought, boy. No. So Rey just went back. He was, despondent. He was like, what? What am I going to do? Because I want to go back to I want my kingdom back. My kingdom of Utopia. And so Rey was laying on his bed and he was just like, man, I feel at a loss. I feel hopeless. And all of a sudden he sees this spider. He sees this spider above his bed, hanging from the ceiling, dangling down, and this spider is all right, Mom, I know this, you're excited about this story, but let's drive a little safer. He sees this spider, and the spider is trying to build this web, and he keeps falling down the string, the thread. He's trying to climb up, and he just falls back down. And he does this 7 times, and Rey is just watching him. And all of a sudden, on the 8th time, the spider's actually able to climb the thread. And when Rey sees this, he saw these 7 failed attempts of the spider, but on the 8th time, the spider was successful. And so Rey said, you know what? I'm gonna get my kingdom back. I'm not a failure, and you know what? So what if I am? But what do I have to lose? The only thing I have to lose is possibly my dignity, but how much do I have to gain? I have kicking the booties of the people from the Land of Heathens. I have that to gain. I have gaining my kingdom back again. I have that to gain. I have making my people happy again. I have that to gain. So you know what? I have more to gain than I have to lose. So let's do this thing. So he said, let's go. People from Unity, Land of Unity, let's round it back up. Let's go back to the kingdom of Utopia and let's kick some tush. And what did they do? They kicked some tush. And what did the people from the Land of Heathens do? They ran away with their tail tucked between their legs, and they never came back again. And King Rey and his people in the kingdom of Utopia and the people from the Land of Unity, they all lived happily ever after. So what's the moral of the story, you might ask? Well, it's this. When you realize that there is more to gain than to lose, when you make a certain decision, you cannot allow your fear of failure to deter you from taking that risk, from taking that leap. You can't do it. And so what I want you to do, moving forward today, I want you to seize every chance you can to be a calculated risk taker. Because at the end of the day, like Daniela Pierre Bravo said, your willpower and your courage comes from within you. You have the power to change your future. So moving forward, what you need to do is say, I want you to stare down failure in the face and say, hey, hit me with your best shot. Because what doesn't kill me is only gonna make me stronger. Alrighty, until the next time, see you later. Say bye,